my college and heartily welcome all those dear participants. The topic for today's presentation is striking a balance, navigating personal and professional ethics. Now, this topic is going to present, as I have mentioned, Honorable Shikha Yadav, Madam. She is an assistant professor from the NorthCap University, Gurugram. So, with this brief introduction, now I request to you, Madam, please start your presentation on today's topic. You are most welcome. Madam, unmute yourself and then talk. Unmute yourself.
Yes, thank you. A very good evening to everyone present here. First of all, I would like to thank Bedkar sir for giving me a second chance for giving this presentation. Earlier also, I have given a presentation in this session, in this World Record series. So, with your permission, I would like to start the session. So, should I start?
Yes, madam.
Okay.
Yes, madam, please.
Thank you. So the topic that I would be discussing today is striking a balance, navigating personal and professional ethics. So the reason behind choosing this topic is the most important, you can say, the value that is based on the ethics part. So every day we face some ethical dilemmas, or we are facing certain issues which are questioning our ethical part. So that is the reason I have chosen personal and professional ethics both. So first of all, I would like to share an important quote shared by Dwight D. Eisenhower, and he said that the qualities of a great man are vision, integrity, courage, understanding, the power of articulation, and profundity of character. With this great thought, I would like to start my presentation. So, before starting this, I would like to ask few questions which you should ask yourself. The first question is, what do you believe about treating others with respect? What do you think about stealing? What do you think about cheating? Do you practice what you preach or honestly believe? Are your beliefs reasonable? Are they morally sound? Do they and or will they survive moral argument? Just take 2 minutes and have a thought on these questions. This is for each and everyone present here in the session, because these questions determine our ethical part, whether it is professional or it is personal. When you are then going to the school, then also your peers, your schoolmates, your teachers, everyone is inculcating you inside you a value, a morality, moral principles which are guiding your personal ethics. Then coming to the culture part, your culture is also giving a direction towards your personal ethics. When talking about your community or the society, that also determine that how you will be personally taking part in your ethical journey. So when we are talking about personal ethics, it is determined by your loyalty, your integrity, your fairness, responsibility, selflessness, honesty, self-respect, and your passion. As you can see, all these components are directly or indirectly determining your life on daily basis. When you are going to take a particular decision, then also you are in a particular dilemma whether I should go for this or for that. Their ethical part comes into being, that what your culture has taught you, what your school has taught you, what your family has taught you, whether you should be loyal, you should be following the integrity, you should be fair in your decision, whether you should take responsibility for your decisions. So all these components are determining your personal ethical part. So what does personal ethics actually contribute in your life as an individual? So when we are giving importance to our personal ethics, when we are following the ethical component in our life, which are mentioned in this slide, that is, you are loyal, you are taking care of your integrity, you are following your passion. Passion is something which you actually love to do, which actually gives you self of satisfaction, whether it is your work, whether it is any hobby that you are actually taking into the next step. Apart from your hobby, you are taking it into a passion part. Then your self-respect, that you are giving much more importance to your self-respect. So when you are taking care of all these components, then what actually happen into your life? It is you become emotional honest. You become a virtue of humility. You are proactive in your life. You are promoting happiness. You are having your flexible mind. So all these are having good impact on your body. So when we are talking about personal and the professional part, there is a difference between these components. When we see personal ethics, it is more focused on the morals and the principles. And when we are talking, what are the principles that you have to follow while working in a company or when you are a professional? So that is more, you are more concerned, you can say more focused on the part when you're working in a group of people, whereas personal ethics is more focused when you're working as an individual in your personal life. So there are certain factors which determine a difference between your personal and the professional part. When talking about the personal ethics, it is actually differed by individuals. Every individual has their own ethical part which they follow. For me, anything can be right. For me, anything can be wrong. For example, I am considering my decision as the right one. But for the second person, it might be the wrong decision because his ethical principles are different. My ethical principles are different. So it differs by individuals. It differs by your religion, your sin or virtue, right? It is learned from your parents, teachers, your role models. It can be anything. Anyone who can guide you in that part. It is basically the unwritten code of conduct because it is being carried on generation to generation through your cultural values and aspects. It is your personal choice whether you follow it or not follow it, because it comes from inside. And if you are following it, then it gives a sense of satisfaction that yes, I have done some ethically good thing in life. But when we are talking about the professional part, there is a huge difference in these aspects. That is, it is same throughout the organization because you will be working as a professional in an organization. So as a professional, you have to follow the rules and the guidelines that are actually followed by everyone in the organization. And the second thing is the law, crime, punishment, all these come under the ethical part. It is learned from the management, it is learned from the team leaders, it is learned from your co-workers, right? So whatever your you can say environment is following, you actually inculcate those things into yourself, and then you take care of your professional part. Suppose your team leaders are unethical in each and every aspect and you are just following them, it means you are also becoming unethical. So that becomes a matter of concern, that you are also unethical in your professional part. right? Similarly, your co-workers, what your management is following, that also comes under your professional part. And as we have seen in the personal aspect, it is the unwritten code of conduct. But here in the professional ethics part, we can see it is the written code of conduct. Everything is written so that the people will be having a uniform part that what has to be followed, what is being considered right in the organization. And it also vary from organization to organization. For one organization, there are certain set of rules, a certain set of conduct. For second organization, there might be slight difference, but otherwise there are uniform code of conduct which are followed as a human being in all the organization across the world. Then there is a professional commitment that has to be followed. Then comes your professional part. When we are going towards the next slide, it is actually saying that we are as different professional in different professions. We might be an academician, we might be a lawyer, we might be an engineer, we might be a doctor, or we might be a scientist. And there are several other professions that are you can see as in the picture. So there are many professions that has been followed. So is this professional aspect which I am discussing right over here is such important that that it is being conducted in this session? Yes, it is, because each and every profession demands professional ethics that has to be followed. So my next question to all of you is, do you possess your personal professional values and ethical part? Are you able to understand your roles and responsibility while working as a professional? Are you able to understand and respect other professionals? Are you accountable for your own actions? Are you taking care of your self-regulation part? Are you upholding your professional integrity? If you are taking care of all these things, it means that you are an ethical person. So it is very important to note it here that being professional is very much important when we are working for an organization, especially when it comes to your ethical part. As you can see in this picture, there are certain things which are mentioned. That is the reliability, your behavior, relationships, responsibility, communications, teamwork, morality. All these are part of your professional ethics, or we can say the business ethics. So when you are responsible enough to take care of your actions, when you are taking care of the relationship, your professional relationships, when you are having control over your behavior. For example, you are becoming very angry due to some action of your co-worker or your team leader. But you say, if you are having control over your emotions, your behavior, then you will be taking the ethical decisions. That is very important. And then you can say that, yes, I'm an ethical person and I used to take the decisions very wisely while working as a professional in an organization. Then your teamwork, if you are working, see, there are two aspects. One is your individual part and the second one is your professional part. If you are not aligning these two components, then you will not be able to achieve the success. It is very important to maintain the balance between your professional part and your personal part. So if you are just aligned towards your individual goals, then also it is wrong. If you are too aligned towards your professional goals, that is also too wrong. So you have to take care of these two aspects, and there comes the part of teamwork. No doubt you are working in an organization as an individual, but yes, you are also working as a team, or you can say as a team member in the organization, and hence teamwork becomes very important there. Then comes your reliability. You are So all these characteristics, you can see that are we following these components in everyday life, or we are just thinking over it? Yes, I can be punctual, I can be accountable, I can be more focused towards my work. So are these just the questions that are coming to your mind, or just we are just putting into the answer part also? You are not punctual to your work on everyday basis, then also you are not taking care of your ethical part. You are not giving your 100% towards your productivity, then also we can say that you are not ethical. You are not 100% ethical, because I cannot say that if you are not productive enough, then you are not an ethical person, because you might be taking care of all of the components as well. So it is very important to maintain a balance and to give importance to each and every characteristic that has been mentioned over here. You have to be professional in all aspects. You have to be well dressed up while you are working in an organization. You have to take care of your punctuality part, that you are coming on time, you are going on time, and you are accountable for whatever roles and responsibilities are being given to you. You have to be more focused toward work. You should not be involved in other things other than your work part. You have to take initiative for taking care of the professional aspect. You have to have the dedication part. You have to take care of your improvement part. If you're lacking behind something, then it's your responsibility. You have to be very much have that desire to improve yourself. That is also an ethical component while working as a professional. Then comes the examples of unethical behavior. What is unethical behavior? We have already discussed the ethical behavior, that all these components, these 8 components, these 8 characteristics determine your professional ethical part. Then what is unethical behavior at workplace? It is your preferential treatments. It is your gossiping part, your dishonesty, your selfishness. Preferential treatment here means that you are giving preference to any person or any situation or anything else. It means that you are an unethical person at workplace. You are not being ethical in your professionalism. When you are gossiping, it means that you are not dedicated to your work. You are not being productive enough because you are indulging into some other characteristics other than your what is actually meant for you. You are dishonest in your work. You are not being honest whatever you are doing. You are just taking shortcuts, or you are relying on your team or something else. It means you are dishonest. You are selfish enough. You are pulling legs of others. It means that you are just involved in keeping others down, and in order to succeed in your aspect or in your part, you are using lies, you are using tricks. So all these components actually comprises of an unethical behavior. So in this contemporary corporate culture, do you ever face any ethical dilemma? Because it is very common. We have discussed about professional part, we have discussed about your personal part. So what are ethical dilemmas? So ethical dilemmas on everyday basis, if we are working in an organization, it may be any profession, any organization, we might face not on everyday basis, but we might face this component very rarely, but yes, it happens to each one of us. That is your ethical dilemma part. Ethical dilemma here means that you are facing the confusion in your mind. What should I do? What should I follow? Whether this is right or this is right. That is your ethical dilemma part. In that confusion part, what do you have to take care? You have to take care what are my moral principles, what I have learned from starting. That is why I have included these 2 components, the personal ethical ethics and your professional ethics, because it is very important to have a balance between these 2 components, whether you are working for an organization or you are living just like an individual. So there are 2 parts which are discussed in this diagram, that is success. At one side you can see success and profit, and on the other side you can see righteousness and integrity. So what should be followed? There might be certain situation that you have got confused that मैं कहाँ जाऊँ, what should I do? At that situation, you have to take care of your ethics. You have to be integral. You have to take care of your integrity part. You have to take care of your reliable part, that whether I'm doing right or wrong. It is not just about your success or not just about taking care of your profit. If you are a businessman or if you are an employer, you have to take care of the integrity part. So when you find yourself struggling to create a balance between your personal and the professional ethics, then there are 3 things, because the basis of our this session is creating a balance between the personal and the professional ethics. So in that situation, when you find it difficult, you have to take care of 3 most important points. That is, you have to consider the situation very carefully. When you're working or when you are just at home or any situation comes to your life, you have to just consider whether the situation that has come to me, what it actually means. Should I take the decision instantly or should I wait for some time? Because what happens sometimes when we wait, then automatically we get the solution. So it is very important to consider the situation, because then only you will be able to take the right decision. So this is very important. At that particular point, you will be identifying that what is right and what is wrong. Because We are human beings. We might take wrong decisions. We might take right decisions. But when we give space to our mind, when we give space to ourselves, then we will be able to take the right decisions. The second component is just speak up. Speak up means take stand. Whenever you feel like that something is happening which is not correct, something is not right, what is being happened in front of your eyes, or your friends, your colleagues, whatever you see that anything is wrong, then you have to speak up. You have to be, I'm not saying that you have to be whistleblower every time, but you have to speak up against the wrong thing. That is very important, because you might be a role model for your colleagues, you might be a role model for your peers, for your subordinates, for your superiors, in some situation when you take a stand against the wrong part. So it means that you have to speak up, you have to take a stand. If it is not important that you just follow the crowd, you have to just follow what others are doing. No, you can be an individual who can take his or her decision alone. Then comes the compromisation, that is, don't compromise your personal values. Whatever you have learned from your family, whatever you have learned from your culture, your community, your society, don't ever take compromise on that. You have to just think twice, thrice, and infinite times. You have to just think that whether whatever I am doing just for success or just for taking other things, whether this is correct or wrong, whether it is as per my integral integrity, as per the moral principles that I have learned from the starting, from since my childhood, since my birth, what whether it is aligned with that or not. So that has to be taken care of. So I would like to share the 6 basic ethics of life, which is very much different from what we have discussed. That is, it is not the component of your personal and the professional part. It is something very much different from what we have learned right now. It is, before you pray, you just believe yourself. Before you speak, you have to listen. Before you spend, you have to earn. Before you write, you have to think. But there is some disturbance, I think. Am I audible?
Yes, madam.
Thank you.
I have cleared,
So
madam.
the
Continue,
six
please.
basic ethics in life.
I have cleared
Sorry,
this
sir.
disturbance. You can continue.
I have cleared, madam. Basic ethics in life will actually help you achieve success. These 6 basic ethics are: before you pray, you have to, before you speak anything, you have to start listening to others. Before you spend on anything that you wish to purchase, you have to start earning. Before you write, you have to think. Before you quit, you have to try. Don't just be a failure. Try, and ultimately you will be finding a remedy or a solution for all your problems. So it is not important to quit. It is important. What is important is try. Before you die, you have to live to the fullest. Thank you so much. I hope this session will help you in your life, and you will be able to maintain a balance between your professional and your personal aspect. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam,
Thank you, sir.
for the wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Now I request all the participants, please, if you have any query regarding today's topic, please come ahead and ask to madam. Most welcome.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello. Good evening, Dr. Bedkar sir, Principal sir, Prashant sir. Ma'am, thank you very much for your wonderful presentation. Ethics and ethical values are very important in the professional as well as personal life.
Yes. Thank you so much.
So definitely it is a very helpful topic, ma'am. And many of the times we are using some ethics and sometimes we are missing those ethics. While using it, we use it for sake of showing people many of the times. And if suppose the midnight time the police and other people are there, and we are just little worried about, and that is why we are obeying the ethics. So that happens in a real life, real life. So to inculcate this ethics as a real value of a man, what efforts we have to take, one thing. And second thing, my question is, if we are having our own personal values and ethics, I think definitely it will reflect in our profession also. So what do you say about this, ma'am? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yes, sir, definitely. We all know about ethics, I think, but we are not following that. So that is most important as an individual, that you must have a clear
This is my country, this is my class, this is my, that feeling is there, then definitely we are going to follow all kind of ethics.
exactly.
Thank you, ma'am.
And
Thank
then
you
only,
very much for
thank you,
this.
sir, thank you. And I think that then only we will be able to bring change in the society, bring change in ourselves, bring change in our environment.
Right, correct. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Kapil Lamkure sir would like to ask. Please come, sir. So thank you, Honorable Dr. Swanand Shukla sir, for asking a nice question. Now I request the Chief Organizer of this, Honorable Principal M.M. Betkar, sir, please are welcome. We have some words for today's session. Please, sir. I think there is a network issue from sir's side.
It's networking issue. I am unable to speak from laptop because it is not clicking on off in mute and unmute condition. So thank you, madam, for your presentation today. And I think it's echo one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now it's time to move towards the vote of thanks. Shri Kumarswami Mahavidyalaya Ausa, District Latur, is organized a record series to today was 187th day of the series, and the topic was very significant and that is relevant to everybody's life, that is striking a balance, navigating personal and professional ethics. Now on this topic, madam have explained all those details. What is an ethics, professional ethics? One should care of all these components. Then characteristics of different professional ethics, unethical behavior at workplace, and 6 ethics of life. Now these details have given in her talk to everybody. So I am very, very thankful to you, madam, with us and presented a wonderful explanation in front of us. So thank you very much. I thank the chief organizer of the series, Honorable Principal M. Ambedkar, sir. I thank the colleagues from my college, Dr. Sanjay Kale, sir, Dr. Anita Dole, madam. Honorable Praveen Udge, sir, Dr. Praveen Kambre, sir, and all others. Special thanks to Dr. Swanand Shukla, sir, for asking questions, who always share in interaction session. So thank you so much, sir. And thanks to all dear participants who join the series regularly, encourage us and enhance the beauty of the series. So thanks to you all once again. Really, it was a very sincere talk from Madam's side. And Madam, you have talked here second time. Really, we are very proud of you, Madam, for being with us and sincere talk in front of us. So thank you. Thank you very much. Now I request all the participants, please fill the feedback link which is given in the chat box. So with the kind permission of the chief organizer, I declare that today's session is over. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. You can take rest. We will keep this webinar for 5 minutes for filling the feedback link. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir, send feedback link, please.